Yesterday, we had the exam, optional subject. Did you go through the question paper? Why? Why you did not go? The festival of UPSC is the exam. And I'm very happy to share that more than 90% of the questions in 2025 mains anthropology were from my class and my material. And the very next day, today, what a day, September 1st. The very next day, we are taking the class. I hope and wish by next year, by 1st September 2026, you all would have written the examination, and I hope that you will call me and share the information that you have written good and you are expecting more than 300. This is the quality which we'll be maintaining. So we'll be having few demo sessions, beginning sessions from 3:30 to 5 o'clock, and they will be live on YouTube also. So those who are watching on YouTube will be having regular YouTube streaming for next 5 days. Are you in dilemma? Where to go? What to take? So here every individual, a student or a teacher has a unique way. If you are also confused to take the decision, then attend these free 5 classes. Afterwards, based on the teaching, based on the quality we provide, you can take the decision. Not only that, going one step backward. So with respect to optional, are you confused? Has to anthropology lena hai ya nahi? Are you confused, madam? You have decided. That's great. If any of you have not it, अरे क्या लेना क्या नहीं, then you can have one-to-one session with me and get all your doubts clarified. I'll give you the objective feedback, whether you are suited for anthropology, whether you can take anthropology, or any doubts, queries you have. I'll be there for you till your last question. Then why anthropology? Why? Madam, why you took anthropology? Why? Please be seated. Why? Why anthropology? There are many options. Even you have got literature. Maybe you may be having your graduation subject also. Why anthropology? There are hundreds of reasons, in fact, as to why anthropology should be the one. So here first most important thing is a good teacher. For any subject, whether it's mathematics, physics or anything, if we have a good teacher, that should be the main reason for you to take. Say for example, political science. 10 years back, nobody used to take political science. I came all the way from Bangalore to Hyderabad to study public administration under Lakshmikant sir. You might have heard about Lakshmikant sir. Have you? Polity book. But he is in fact the teacher of public administration, not the teacher of polity. I came all the way because I thought he is the number one teacher. So here, with respect to this, there should not be any compromise. And with respect to me, I'll make sure that I'll stand till the last man. I'll cover all the concepts in the syllabus. Any doubts, any queries, anything available, there won't be anything for you to do. ChatGPT, Google, wo dekhna hai, ye dekhna hai, nothing. Everything will be provided by me. I have got a lot of experience. Not only that, I have got proved track record. I myself have got good marks. So that is the one thing, whomsoever may be. Then personal guidance. So if you have personal guidance, it's well and good. So here, if I take the classes, one most important aspect will be personal guidance. There will be one-to-one interaction. After the class is over, you can meet me. You can get all your doubts cleared. Not only that, it doesn't end. It doesn't end here itself. I have cleared UPSC prelims 5 times with comfort, confidence and ease. I will also be helping you in that regard also. Then conceptual clarity, all the topics in the syllabus will be covered. Not only that, complete study material. I'll be providing the notes and also the detailed one in a PDF form. Mock tests every week. Every week, think we'll be having for nearly 30 weeks. Every week you will be writing. Think about the improvement in your answer writing. So it will be a huge improvement. And focus will be on answer writing. So you may be knowing the subject. How to write the answer is the one most important thing. So we'll be concentrating on that. Then, why anthropology? Which is the best optional? There are many, many reasons. I have taken the one most important. Hundreds of students, unsuccessful or getting very low marks in other subject, they changed to anthropology and got first rank. Highest marks. That too just by reading 3-4 months. Have you heard those case studies? Have you heard of those toppers? Think, I have been preparing for 5 years, day in and day out. I took all coaching, everything. But I am not getting good marks in optional. Optional, along with ethics and essay, are the things which are deciding your success. I repeat, optional along with ethics and essay decides whether you get top post or not. If you get low marks here, you may be in the list, but you may not be getting the top rank. IAS, IPS, Buljao. So here are some of the examples. The very well known Telangana Ammai, Uma Harti. In her 5th attempt, she took anthropology. For 4 years, she tried all the things. She is an engineer. She took geography, but it was not working. You can just Google the things. She just prepared. In 1 attempt, she got the highest and she got the 3rd rank also. 5th attempt. 4 attempts geography, 1 attempt anthropology, she got the rank. Then, once again, the Telangana boy. Do you know him? Anudeep Durishetty. He tried with everything he can do with public administration. He was not getting through. He was not getting good marks. He just took anthropology and it changed. He got first rank. Just in 1 year. He has not taken too many years. Then Lakshmi, she is the topper till date with respect to any optional. For 500 marks, she got 362. 362, sociology was her option. She changed from sociology to anthropology. In the next attempt, she got 362 and 45 rank. So here, like, I'm not like saying that you shouldn't be taking other options. I'm giving you the comparison because like public administration, sociology, political science, these are the popular options. People are coming from that option after reading 4-5 years. They're just reading 1 year and they're getting rank. Not only that, even like many freshers have got this. Another example is Akshat Jain. In his very second attempt, he got the 2nd rank at the age of 23. Top ranks, if you take any year in the past 10 years, not 10 years, even 15 years, maximum number of people will be from anthropology. If you take top 10 or top 100, maximum number. Shubham Kumar, first rank 2020. So it was his 3rd attempt. Then we have got once again Amara Telugu Ammai, Ananya Pandey, 22 years. In her first attempt, if you want to get success in your first attempt, here is an example. 22 years, first attempt, anthropology, Mahbubnagar, Telangana. She got 3rd rank. So these are very recent examples. If I Google, I may get some hundreds of examples. I've just, to make the thing simple and to have the native feeling, I have taken the Telugu, Telangana students. Okay, why anthropology? Why anthropology? Question. How are the questions coming in UPSC? Because that is the very basis from which you will be getting rank. How will you get IAS? By the marks you score in mains. How will you score good marks in mains? By answering the questions. So what is the nature of questions you are getting? And how is the syllabus? So coming to the questions, the most important. See, like as I told, when we were writing, we are having two options. I am from agriculture, BSc Agriculture, MSc Agriculture Economics. I tried with many options. I changed many options. I wrote agriculture, I wrote botany, agriculture economics, masters in economics. I wrote Indian Economic Service, Indian Forest Service. So I have done all the circles. Means why I said not like boasting, to say that I have got some broader idea, wider idea, because I have touched most of the options. If there is any option where questions are very straightforward, then that is inevitably, invariably anthropology. Questions are direct, very direct. So 90% of the questions are direct. When the questions are direct, there is no ambiguity. You have read, you have prepared, you can write. If you get like 50% of the marks, not just any rank, you will be getting first rank in the total marks I am saying. When the questions are straightforward, it is very easy to write. Go and see the other question papers. Say for example, public administration, political science, sociology, questions are not direct. If you just like fail in interpreting, or if you just interpret wrong, you are gone. Because questions are twisted, questions are not direct. In this ethics paper, in this anthropology paper, the questions are direct, 90%. You can like go and verify the things. Coming to the syllabus is very easy. 90% once again. There is 10% difficult aspect. I want to tell the truth. 10% is difficult. But compared to other subject, it's very, very like small area. In other subject, there may be some 30-40% which is very difficult. That 10% is with respect to archaeology, different sites, our historic man. When we study their features, this is the only area where the things are data-based. In fact, in my opinion, they are more interesting if they are told in a better way. So archaeological anthropology is one area where the things are little difficult, or in a different way, it is made difficult. It is having more facts. So what is the way out? As our Ananya Reddy said, have them in table form. That's it. I'll be providing everything in table form. Just read those tables, it will be more than sufficient. Then syllabus is static, 95%. There are some areas related to tribe or new inventions, something like that. Other than that, static. There is no need for you to refer any current affairs. You can just think this has a history subject. No need to bother. So it's a very static subject, and the syllabus is very interesting, and you will have a lot of fun. Believe me, you feel very happy, proud. Not only that, your way of thinking, your concept towards religion, towards you, towards others, changes after reading anthropology. Have you heard of dowry? Which is a common practice in India. You will be astonished to find that it is not found in most of the societies. In most of the societies, we have got opposite of dowry, bride wealth. Means if you marry someone, you have to pay, you have to give the money. India is one of those societies. Why is it prevalent in India? Have you thought of that? So it's very interesting. Marriage, family, kinship, different examples. Where like you may find some tribes where they marry ghosts. There are some areas where a man will be marrying more than 5 women, and there are other areas where women will be marrying more than 5 men. And there are many other societies where men and women both marry more than one spouse. Not only that, many, many interesting things. In addition, you will come to know who you are. Who are you? Because you will be studying the evolution of humans from the very beginning, from molecular level till now. So you will come to know who you are. You are understanding about society, you are understanding about who you are. Not only that, very important thing which I found interesting in anthropology was related to genetics. Genetical disorders. Just by seeing someone, you can say whether this person's offsprings will be having disorders or not. Because we study all those things. So it will be very interesting and it will be very having lot of fun. Then what else is required to get first rank? So when the questions are direct, when the syllabus is easy, static and interesting and fun, what is required for you with respect to anthropology to get good marks? Invariably, it's a good teacher or even a guidance and best material. If you find, not just me, if you find any guidance, means a person who has already written mains, got considerable good marks, his guidance and best material will suffice. Getting guidance is not that easy because they will be very busy. A person who will be writing mains or interview will be very busy. He may not be able to guide you. But for us, teaching is a profession. We'll be guiding. That is the only thing we know in fact. So if you have got a good guidance and best material in anthropology, you can get very high marks with comfort, confidence and ease. What is anthropology? As I already explained, it is a holistic study of man. This was the concept till recently, but it was opposed by the feminist movement. So like we often use the terms like chairman. That should not be chairperson. Similarly, it is not the study of just man. It's the study of human beings, the mankind. So it is a holistic study of human beings at all times, at all places. That is the simplest and most authentic definition of anthropology. At all times. Go back to 10 years back, we study that. How humans may evolve in future, we'll be studying that also. So it is a study of human beings at all times, at all places, as a biological animal and also as a part of society and culture. So we are all animals at the end of the day. That is the biological aspect. But we have got the social and cultural aspect also. I asked a question before this. Who are you? Any answer? Who are you, man? Other than your name, other than the things which the society has given, who are you? Who are you, sir? Social animal, very good. We are all what our values are. Do you agree? Values are those things which are important. Say eating, breathing, sleeping. I do, you do. Is there any difference? Values are the things which are important. Means those things which I say, which I determine as important. Based on that, I work. So values are the things which we give. So we are known by our values. So humans also, their work, their everything is dependent and guided not just by the biological one, but also values. Say for example, marriage. We never think of marrying within the family. Why? Is this biological? It is cultural. Is the point clear to you? So we don't marry within the family or having like any sexual contact within the family. The reason being, our behavior, our thought, action is guided by not just biology, also values. Okay. So coming to anthropology, not only anthropology, any subject for that matter, you will be having two papers. Paper 1 and paper 2. So for paper 1, just remember two terms. It's about concepts, it's about theories. It's about concept, it's about theory. Paper 2, application. You take any physics, maths, anthropology, public administration. Say for example, if you take public administration, paper 1 will be theories of public administration. Paper 2 will be application to India, Indian administration. Sociology, the same again. Anthropology, same again. All papers. So this is the key rule which UPSC is maintaining. So paper 1 will be with respect to concept, and paper 2 will be with respect to application of those things to India. Sorry. These are the 12 chapters which we have in paper 1. So in this, I have already told you, chapter number 1 is very difficult and lengthy. Please note down if you want, very important. Chapter number 1 and chapter number 9 are very lengthy and they are related to biology. So what I request, you keep chapter number 1 and 9 aside and try to remember all the things which are there. Is the point clear to you? Go home, chapter number 1, in that first 3 paras. Chapter number 1, first 3 paras, you read just first 3 paras. Afterwards, don't read anything in chapter number 1. And similarly, chapter number 9, because they are very lengthy. You will be lost, you will become directionless. Other than that, all the other things are very simple. See, we have got a chapter on the economic organizations itself. What is economy? Economy, okay. What is polity? Structure of government. Constitution. What is social? Very good. So I'll give you a very important thing for you to learn. A very important thing. Learn all the concepts in keywords. What is polity? Polity deals with everything related to power. So if there is society, society can be divided into 3 parts majorly. Political aspect. What is political aspect? Polity. What is polity? It is a full form of political system. This is a small thing which most of the students don't know. What is polity? It is a full form of political system. What is polity? Polity deals everything with power. Who is having power? Who is exercising power? What is the legitimate power? Legitimate power, that is authority. That will be done. Another section is social. Social means relation between people. Society. See, social problems. Have you heard of this? So what is the social problems? How you have to interpret? Social means anything relating to people. The relation what you have with another one. The structure what you have. Then the other part, economy, economics. What is that? Production and distribution of goods and services. Is the definition okay? Economics, production and distribution of goods and services. That's it. So here, religion, next one. So we'll be studying economy. So this culture and society, the first part. Then afterwards economic, then political organizations, then religion. So how many of you believe in God? So almost all. The degree may vary. See, like if I chant like for a year the name of the holy God, it is thought that we'll get some things like that. So we often pray. So here, what is the origin of religion? Is there any connectivity between religion and magic? Is there any connection between religion, magic and science? Yes, there is. We'll be studying all those interactions. After studying this chapter especially, after studying this chapter especially, your perception of religion definitely will change for good, not for bad. because it is an objective study, not any bias study. And the difficult one, anthropological theories. In any subject, theories are the ones which are very difficult. But in anthropology, they are pretty easy compared to other theories. Very, very simple. Then you have got culture, language, and communication, research methods in anthropology, human genetics, concepts of human growth and development, fertility, and the last one is application. Very simple. Then you have got paper 2. Paper 2 is still very simple. This time I am pretty confident. You can note my words. This time anthropology paper 2, especially paper 2, you will have highest. Most of the students who have taken anthropology will be getting highest marks in paper 2. It was very, very, very simple, not just simple. So here, see, Indian village, you are aware of that. Tribal situation, problems of exploitation, deprivation of SC, ST and OBC, impact of religion on tribal societies, tribe and nation state, contribution of anthropologists. Are these difficult? Demographic profile of India, very simple, very easy. Okay, which is the heart and soul of any optional subject for that matter, whether it is sociology, whether it is political science, the most important one, it is inevitably the theories or thought. So apply your thought. What might be the difference between theory and thought? क्या difference है theory and thought? Theory explanation. What about thought? Not that. First part was correct. Okay, I'll make the thing simple. Very good. Perspective. So which one? Thought or theories? Thought. Very good. So let me like break down the things, and I want to show that you can answer this. So in this, theories and thought, which is more systematic? Thought means just thinking. Okay, I won't be explaining. Just let the things come from you. In this, which is more systematic? Thought or theories? Theories. In this, which is based on research, which is very systematic? Theories or thought? Theories. So this is the only difference. So thought is just like what you think. See, like you are thinking about me, aren't you? That is thought. If you go home and build a theory, how to teach, how he is teaching, something like that, that becomes a theory. So here there is a big ambiguity. In some books they use the term anthropological theories. In some books they use anthropological thought. So you should be taking the term thought or theory. Please do answer. Anthropological theories, is it more appropriate, or anthropological thought, is it more appropriate? It is theories because it is a systematic study. So let me just, okay. So here thought, it is present in paper 1 and chapter number 6. What is the best way to understand, best way to master anything? If there is a concept, if there is something which you want to know, or what is the best way to teach? What is the best way? What is the best way? Ask questions. Ask question. Go on asking the question and find the answer. That is the best way. So what is the best way to use ChatGPT? Have you been using ChatGPT regularly? Please do use. This is high time. AI won't replace humans. A person who uses AI will replace you if you don't use. It's very good, it's excellent. Please use it the maximum you can. This is the invention of this generation, which was not available to anyone, my dear students. If you are not using AI, If you are not using ChatGPT, you are simply like not using something which is very, very important. So you should be using. So how to get the best out of ChatGPT? Ask questions, specific questions. The specific question you was, the specific answers you will be getting. So in that computer language they say prompts. How you give prompts is the most important one. Similarly here, to understand anything, you should be asking questions. Then, what is the next step? After that, break the things into constituent parts. Answer each and every part. Then afterwards, the holistic understanding. So this is the one thing which have to be there with respect to all questions in mains. So what is the best way to answer any question in mains? Break the question into parts. Is the point clear to you? What is the best way to answer any question in mains? Break the question into parts. To simplify that, keywords. Address each keyword and address the whole question as a whole. Is the point clear to you? Okay, let me tell you a very important thing with respect to answering. It just came to my mind. In 2008 essay paper, I got 130 marks. That was for 200. If you convert this to 250, it will be like 163 or 165 marks to the present 250 marks. For 200 I got 130. Presently you have essay for 250, right? So if you convert, it will be like 263 or 265, like 165. So what I did, which question I took, I'll explain in just 2 minutes. The question was SEZ. Have you heard of SEZ? Special Economic Zones. Special Economic Zones. Are they boon or are they bane? So what I did is very simple. First thing, this is the one which you should be doing with respect to any essay. Why they have asked this question? What is the current relevance? 2005 SEZ Act was there. That is number one. Then afterwards what I said, what is special about, what is special in special economic zone? What is economical? What is zone? I just elaborated those things. Then I just directly went into the positive and negative, boon or bane. And afterwards I just like mentioned about Special Economic Zone Act 2005, positive and negative. That's it. I give a very positive conclusion saying that globalization is the order of the day. So it is inevitable to make best use of the globalization. We should be using SEZ as China is already using and got the result. That is the thing I wrote. I did not write anything other than that. I got top marks. So you also should be doing the same thing in all your mains. If there is a lengthy question, break the question, then address each and every aspect and the question as a whole. So this is the pedagogy which we will be using to begin with for this also. So asking question and breaking the things into constituent parts and uniting them into organic whole. What is this organic whole? What do you understand by organic? It simply means each and every part is connected. So this is my hand. Is my hand connected to my leg? Connection unda? Yes. So this is organism. Organic whole. Okay. What is anthropology? Study of human kind. What are theories that we'll be discussing? So before we actually delve into what is anthropology, let us take the etymological meaning. So what is this etymological meaning? It is about the origin and history of words. What is the origin of anthropology? It is similar to any other subject. What is the origin of psychology? What is the origin of sociology? So here, etymological meaning of some of the subject, psychology, psycho, it has been from the logos means study or science. So here psychology from psycho, sociology from socius, ecology from oikos, geology from geo, similarly anthropology from anthropos. What is the meaning of logos? Study or science. Anthropos means human. So it's study of human beings. Anthropology is the study or the science of human beings. So this is the etymological meaning. So what do you understand by etymology? Two words. What is the meaning of etymology? Origin or history. Isn't it easy? So always when you are learning, learn in keywords. Etymology means origin or history of words, right? Then theory and thought, they are related but they are distinct. How are they related? How are they distinct? So with respect to the nature, one is reflective and philosophical. Thought is just reflecting. Say I am seeing you, I am thinking why that boy is sitting like that, why that girl is answering like that, why these people have sat apart. See, one is in left hand side, another is right hand side. That would have been better if all would have sat here. So I can see boys on the one side, girls on the other side. Why is this? That is just thought. It's a reflective one. So this is thought, and a systematical analysis is your theory. Structure, it's loose and broad. Thought. So mind is a monkey. So here, how many of you are thinking about the class? I may not be aware. Is there anyone whose thought went just outside and the door was opened? Or thinking something else? It happens because it is not like systematized. Theory means well concentrated. So apart from this, okay, please can you call the one? It's not working. Touch. Okay. So instead of me writing, I just have typed the things for you. So apart from this, with respect to one thing, concentration. You should study with concentration. Why? Why you should study with concentration? The reason is, when you study with concentration, you will get those things which you never get when you do shallow studying. Means when you do deep work, when you do the work with concentration, your mind develops some capabilities which are not available for a shallow worker. Is my point clear to you? When you concentrate, when you do deep work, you will develop capabilities which are not available to others, not at all available, that only you will be having. So you should be doing the work with concentration. The one thing like in this direction which fascinated me, which appealed to me the most, was the example of a lens, sunlight. If you go in sunlight, will you be burnt? Will you be burnt if you go in sunlight? Normally no. Will the paper burn in sunlight? No. But the same light, when it is focused through the lens, the paper will burn, right? Will the paper burn or not? Definitely. Similarly, when you concentrate, you will be having lot of energy, unimaginably. Okay. So coming to the point, theory and thought. Thought is a general term. What I think, what you think. It is broad, it is loose, it is not systematic. On the other hand, theory is very systematic, focused. It is based on evidence. It is based on proof. Your thought, is it based on evidence? It may be or it may not be. Right? So here there is nothing to confuse anthropological theories or anthropological thought. But you should prefer the term anthropological theories. Why? It is a systematic work, not just a thought of an individual. Okay. What is the most important thing which we will be studying? Anthropological theory. They are also said to be anthropological theories of culture. Why do we say that? Why do you say that? You are getting distracted, so you shouldn't be watching that. Okay, sir. I'll click, sir. Not a problem. Okay, that's it. Okay. So, with respect to structure, thought is just a loose and broad version, and the other hand, theory is well defined and structured. And empirical basis, it may be based on evidence or it may not be with respect to thought. On the other hand, theory is always often tested and evidence based. So this is a general difference which you should keep in mind. So the same things in a very systematic way. Thought, a broad term referring to the mental process of thinking, considering or reflecting. So it's a mental process of thinking, reflecting or anything related to mind. It may or may not be systematized. Example, ancient Greeks' idea about human nature. Long before 2000 years back, what Greeks were thinking about humans was that Enlightenment thinkers like Hobbes and Rousseau discussing the state of nature and society. So state of nature and society. Rousseau, all these people, they discuss their thought. What they say that we all humans were 100% free. 100% free. But when we were long before, but in reality we were not having that freedom. Say for example, there is think that group of monkeys living in a forest. Monkeys have the freedom to do whatever they want, right? In forest, at least they generally have. Then do you think they are out of fear? The answer is no. They are always afraid that somebody will attack. Before they attack, we have to attack. So now you are all sitting. Are you feeling that somebody will attack you? कोई मुझे मारेगा, ऐसा आपका दिमाग में है? Why? The reason is we are having the concept of state. So what is that? In the state of nature, we are having 100% freedom. Means you can do whatever you want. If you want to kill someone, you can kill. State of nature full of freedom. But we found that that is not working. We are always thinking, we are always insecure. So what we did is, we gave up our freedom, certain percentage of freedom, and we surrendered our freedom to state, government, in a layman's language. So we gave up certain percentage of freedom and we gave that to the government. Government provided all the safety, all the protection. Why one individual is not killing the other individual? We make it angry. आपको मेरा ऊपर गुस्सा आ सकता है, but you won't be beating, you won't be killing me. Why? There are rules and regulations. You will be punished. So Rousseau and all these people, they said that in the state of nature, there is no harmony, there is no peace. We are always anxious. So the concept of state emerged. So this is not there in your syllabus. just for the sake of like information I just provided. On the other hand, theory, as we discussed, it is structured, coherent, and it is based on reasoning, evidence, testing. For example, cultural relativism we will be studying, functionalism, structuralism. Can you give examples for other theories? Example for theory. Any example? Action and reaction are equal and opposite. Einstein's theory. Have you heard of that? So they all come in this category, right? Then basis. Thought is often based on personal things, personal preferences, personal thoughts, personal reflections. On the other hand, theory is based on observation, logic, evidence, truth, fact. Anthropological thought, what people used to think about humans and culture. So often you might have heard our grandparents taking and thinking these things. So there was like that, like this. So that was just thought. On the other hand, anthropological theories, they simply refers to what anthropologists now think about human beings and culture. Okay. Thought is a broader one. On the other hand, theory is very specific within the framework. Okay. This is the differentiation between theory and thought. Coming to anthropological theories, evolutionary theory. Evolutionary theory. Have you heard of the term evolution? Evolutionary theory in 19th century, that in late 19th century, was the first one in anthropology. This is a very, very important one because we just have a history of only 200, 300 years. Sociology, thousands of years. Anthropology is a small subject. Why? The reason being this. See, anthropology as a systematic study began only in 19th century. Right? So, beginning of anthropology. Then, since the late 19th century, you have got evolutionism, diffusionism, functionalism, structuralism, culture and personality. These are the theories, these are the difficult aspects which are there in your anthropology syllabus. Then anthropological thought is also refers to as theoretical theories, anthropological theories on culture. Why? So here anthropological theories are also referred to as anthropological theories of culture. Why? Say for example, political theories. So what is considered in political theory? Politics. What is politics? Power. Everything related to power is studied in political science. So they just study about power. It is often said, and many people even think that this is the correct thing when referring to ethics paper or essay paper. So mean to say, many students who study political science, they think that the same thing we can reproduce in essay and ethics. In fact, that is not true, wrong, because these are political theories. These are related to power. What you have in ethics is with respect to morality, with respect to ethics, not with respect to power. Sociological theories, what you will be studying? What is the point of concentration? Society. On administrative theories, what is the concentration? Administration or organization. So public administration, what is the concentration? Public administration, in that specifically bureaucracy. Similarly, in anthropology, we will be concentrating on culture. The most important thing. What is culture then? It appears that you are all cultured, including me. Very good. What is culture? I am dark, you are fair. Is this cultural? Why? Very good. What is culture then? Very good. చాలా రోజుల నుంచి ఏదైనా ప్రాక్టీస్ చేస్తే వెరీ గుడ్. లాంగ్వేజ్ షుడ్ నాట్ బి ఎనీ బ్యారియర్. యూ కెన్ స్పీక్ ఎనీ లాంగ్వేజ్. సో ద పాయింట్ వాస్ దీస్ ఆర్ ద థింగ్స్ విచ్ ఆర్ పాస్డ్ ఆన్ ఫ్రమ్ one generation to another, right? So any other answer? Because this is the most important thing on which the whole thought, whole theory, anthropological theory revolves around. Suitable to society. Okay, very good. So any other answer? Often we call that person is uncultured. Is this correct one? Culture and society are the same or different? Different. Very nice. These are some of the things we'll be discussing. So we'll be asking questions and we'll be getting the answers. So here, what is culture? American culture. What is American culture? We often have Indo-American culture. Okay. Youth culture. Youth culture, online culture. Second ARC, in ethics paper, they say that culture of integrity. Culture of integrity. What does this mean? According to second ARC, to bring corruption down, you should have culture of integrity. What that exactly means? Now consider these things. Do you think all these things are parts of culture? Washing the dishes, bartan dhona, do you think that is part of culture? Music, classical music, Carnatic music, do you think that is culture? Then typical hair color. I'm not talking about just hair. I'm talking about typical hair color. You might have seen some tribes in some movies having typical hair color, combing in a different way, in a typical way. Do you think that is cultural? Act of eating. We all eat. Can we call this cultural? So these are the things which we'll be discussing. Then coming to culture and animal. Do all animals have culture? No. What is your answer? Do all animals have culture? Let me give you some examples. Ants, they divide their labor, construct their nest, carry the dead one. They feed the queen bee, like queen ant. They do the things in a very systematic way, you can see. They'll be almost like marching in a line, straight line sometimes, single line. Do you think they have culture? Okay, a culture separate to ants. Very good thought. Then what about honeybees? Similarly. Okay, so they also do like dance. They too feed the queen bee. They take the dead ones. They like collect the honey. Do you think they have culture? So it's a very safe answer. If I ask, do animals have language? You can say they have got their own language. Culture, they have got own culture. So by the end of the session, you will be knowing the answer. Okay. So here, honey. So here, do you think they have culture? Then what about our brothers? Can we consider these people as our brothers and sisters? At least very close relatives or far relatives? See this gentleman. He is using a very complex tool. He is piercing that stick and seeing that the termites come out. Afterwards, he will be eating that. See here, other gentleman is preparing something very ferocious, tools. We all started with the same thing. Can we say that these gentlemen have culture? Can we say this? Monkeys learn a wide variety of behaviors. See here, they also are using the same. Can we say these people have culture? Okay, just think it over. Culture and animal, once again in that, is culture unique to human beings? If yes, why? If no, why? My question is, are the humans only beings who have culture? If no, why? If yes, why? No need to answer, just think it over. These are the things which we'll be addressing, and in fact they are very complicated, very subjective things. But the thought has to come. So what you think is anthropological thought. What I will be saying afterwards is anthropological theory, because that is systematic. Okay, culture shared and accepted by most members of the society. You may note down this, the most important character to call anything as culture. First and foremost, should be shared and should be accepted by most members of the society. So here, next, learnt and non-hereditary. Okay, I will explain this later. Now, I'll explain that. Just concentrate here. Culture and human beings. Is every human being cultured? Every human beings, are they cultured? Have you come across any individual who is uncultured? All. Oh, very great people. So you have got good company. You have been with cultured people. So that is the thing, you are very fortunate. Okay. Can there be uncultured human beings? There may be, but you may not be knowing. You may not have come across. So the questions are very important to understand the concept. Think it over. Is every human being cultured? Can there be uncultured human being? Then linking the culture to society. Culture and society are the same? No. Very good. Culture and society, can we use them synonymously, interchangeably? That's great. Then, is there any human society without culture? We have got American society. We have got Indian society. We have got tribal society. Andaman Islanders. Chenchus. Is there any human society without culture? What is your opinion? Can there be society without culture? Okay. Do all human societies have culture? Putting the same things. Okay. Can there be uncultured society? Okay. Is culture possible in the absence of society? In the absence of society, can we have culture? Means if you don't have society, you don't have culture. Then they are inseparable. Great. The term society and culture are not synonymous, the most important thing. Mean to say, you cannot use them interchangeably. They don't have same meaning. They are not synonyms. Are they antonyms, opposite? Are culture and society opposite? The answer is once again no for that also. Society refers to group of people. So what does society refers to? Group of people living in a particular area. These are the two important fundamental things. So please learn this one. What do you understand by society? Living in a definite territory, right? Still, if at all, if you want to add one more, you should be adding, which has culture. So coming back to the thing, to have the conceptual clarity, what is society? It simply says group of people. Then what is culture? Society refers to group of people Culture refers to learned and shared behaviors, ideas, and characteristics of these people. So, say for example, think that this is a society. So, this is a civil service. So, like civil service examination, preparation society. We'll think like that. So, this is society. Then, what is culture? We all share certain ideas, certain thoughts, certain behaviors. That is said to be cultural. So, the most important thing is that should be shared by all. If I have something, if I feel something, then it is my personal thing, not culture. Right? As human beings, we all live in a society. We all live in a society, each characterized by a distinct way of life, which we call culture. So it's a very, very powerful one, simple one. We all live in society. Humans are social beings, each characterized by a distinct way of life. So here it is not distinct way of life of any individual. It is the distinct way of life of the whole society. Indian society, don't we have a distinct way of life? American society, don't we have a distinct way of life? Hindu society, don't we have a distinct way of life? Mohammedan society, don't they have distinct way of life? Arabs, distinct way of life, unda leda? So that distinct way of life is culture, which we call culture. Hence, there is no human society without culture. There cannot be any society without culture, nor is culture possible in the absence of society. Please read this. No human society, there is no human society without culture. So what does this mean? All human societies have culture, and nor is culture possible in the absence of society. So society is very much basic. So without society there cannot be culture, without culture there cannot be human society. They are interlinked. They are two faces of the same coin. What do you understand by this term, often used? Not just with respect to this. Say men and women are the two faces of the same coin. What do you understand by this face? Not that two faces of the same coin. What do you understand by that? Have you heard of this phrase? Very good, they are interrelated. So say for example, only one face of the coin. Does that have any meaning? Not just incomplete, the very existence is questioned. How will a one-sided coin, one-face coin look like? Will it have any value? So when we say two sides of the coin, it means when they are put together, complete whole will be there. If we divide that, almost no meaning, no existence at all. Similarly, society and culture. Okay. Ralph Litton, one of the most prominent anthropologists, he says that culture refers to the total way of life. This question has come in essay, I think 2022. Culture and civilization they have asked. Direct question which can be answered by anthropology students. So total way of life from the most mundane activity. Can you refer some mundane activity? Washing the dishes, cleaning house. So mundane activity. From mundane activity such as washing dishes to more profound aspects of life like Carnatic music, song, dance. So here each and every aspect is part of culture. Right? So now coming to the point, is washing dishes part of culture? Washing like utensils? Yes, That is what it's mentioned. See, we have, what is culture once again? Okay. Learned and shared behavior. So, in India, there will be certain aspects which we'll be sharing. Say, for example, one society, they sweep the room in a different way. They wash the utensils in a different way. So, they are all cultural. So, it may be a mundane activity or a very profound activity like art, culture, anything. They are part of culture. Is the point clear to you? Everything, each and every aspect which fulfill the character, they are part of culture. Okay. Is every human being cultured? Very good. Why? Very good. We are in society. So how does this is can be linked to the culture? Okay. So every individual is a part of one or the other society. One or the other society. And each society has culture. So there cannot be any individual who is uncultured. Are you getting the link? We are humans. Point number one. We are social animals. We live in society. Right? Second point. All societies have culture. Means what is the inference? I have got culture. Every human being is cultured in the sense of practicing in some culture or the other. So we are practicing in one culture or other. We are part of one society or other. So we are all cultured. Moving forward, culture, characteristic features. So the slides which I showed, I think there was some like fault with those things. This is a systematic linear way with respect to the nature of culture. Characteristics. Culture is commonly shared, not personal or individual. If I have something, if I do something, that is just an individual thing. When we say something is cultured, then it has to be commonly shared. Can you think of some things? See, we are all unique, one of its kind. I have got my own way of doing the things. Can you think of some things where there is commonality? There is something common. In our dressing, something common here? Not exactly photocopies. Is there something common? We are sharing something. In eating, is there something common? So how many of you eat with left hand? Almost no one. So we all eat with right hand. Aren't we sharing that? So those things which we share are said to be cultural. Right? So not personal or individual. We are unique. At the same time, we share things with others. The things what we share with others, the things which are common to me and you as a part of society is cultural. Adults living with their parents in India, is it cultural? Adults living with their parents. So आपको पैसे कौन दे रहा है? You are all adults almost, at least. So who is giving? So are you staying with your parents or you have got your own apartments, things like that? So don't say that I am staying in PG. Hey, this is a temporary one. So can we call this adults living with their parents? If this thought, like if I say this word in America, they will be shocked. Oh my God, क्या हो रहा है? Staying with your parents, unimaginable. So in India, it is there. So till all your attempts are over, at least till you get married, they think that you are their responsibility. They will take care. In America, that's not the case. Then the coming to the second one, office of Prime Minister President. Is this cultural? Is this commonly shared? So here there is only one office. How can we all be there? But we have recognized that as legitimate. We have accepted that. Right? So we have agreed. So this is also cultural. Right? If only one person, then personal habit. If I show any of the things on my own, personally, individually, that is my personal habit. On the other hand, culture, some social group must commonly share it. When certain thing is commonly shared, then only we call that as cultural. Is this concept clear to you? So it simply says that if at all, if you want to call something as cultural, that should be commonly shared by all or accepted by all. Office of President, accepted by all. Right? Say for example, think that there is a society. In that 90% of the people are drinking alcohol on a regular basis. Can we call that cultural? Yes. Think that there is a society, only some 5% drink alcohol. So that is not cultural because that is an exception, not commonly shared. For something to be called as cultural, it should be commonly shared. So when it is done on personal basis, it is personal habit. When it is commonly shared by the group, it is culture. If only one person thinks or does a certain thing, that thought or action represent a personal habit, not a cultural pattern. On the other hand, for a thought or action to be considered cultural, some social group must commonly share it. If it is commonly shared, then only we call that as cultural. Okay, we'll take another 5 minutes and we'll wind up the session. 5-10 minutes. Okay. Adults living with their parents. It is cultural in Indian society for adults to live with their parents because we are sharing that. It is cultural in North American society for adults to live apart from their parents. Here, in both the cases, there are exceptions. Exception is not law, really, but not all adults in the society do so, nor do all adults wish to. There are some families where they may be living apart. There may be differences, but it is generally commonly shared. The custom is considered cultural because most adults practice it. So there will be exceptions. Even in India, even in America, there will be exceptions. Exceptions are exceptions, they are not law. But they are followed by most. So what is the first thing to be called as cultural? Commonly shared. Then next, typical hair color is not cultural. Why? I have got black hair color. Sir has black. You all have black hair color. Is this cultural? Why? Genetic. So then what is the opposite of that? Non-genetical. Means it has to be learned. Right? So not all things shared generally by the group are cultural. Ants, they do all the things. Do they have culture? The answer is no. Why? Honeybees, they do the same things, commonly shared, but that is not cultural. Why? Their behavior, activities are based on genetics or instinct, not based on culture. But humans' behavior is based on culture. So here the act of eating, is it cultural? The answer is no. When we feel hungry, we definitely eat. The way we eat, the things we eat, those things makes the difference. So here the act of eating is not cultural. The food preferences are cultural. What you prefer? So mana Andhra vallu ఏం తింటారు? Andhra Bhojanam, very famous around India. What will be there? Rice. After that, pappu, pickles. So that is cultural. You eat, I eat. So eating is not cultural. So other may like Hyderabad. Hyderabad ante biryani. So like we still like long before I left Hyderabad, I was preparing in Hyderabad itself, as I told. We still have a group. There are many IAS, IPS officers are there in that group. Do you know the name of that group? Hyderabad Biryani. So like that. So biryani, eating biryani in Hyderabad, it is cultural. Because commonly shared. It is not genetical. So eating is not cultural. How you eat? Are you eating on table? Are you eating on ground? So some maybe like if you go to like America, things like that, they feel shocked to see people eating with hand, because they may be using spoon, pork. So that is their culture. This is our culture. So here act of eating is not cultural. The food preference are cultural. Humans eat because they must, but what and when and how they eat are learned, and it is cultural. Is the point clear to you? Or getting some faint idea? See, this is in fact the most difficult in anthropology. Other things, marriage, kinship, family, they are pretty easy. If you can make sense out of this, if you have understood at least some 50%, then anthropology is for you. This is the most difficult one, anthropological thought. In fact, it is thought in the fag end and in sometimes not thought also. Okay. Horse meat. They eat generally like Central Asia and Europe. Horse meat is very nutritious. They prefer that. Do we eat horse meat in India, in Europe? We won't. So eating horse meat is cultural in Central Asia, right? Then pork. So Muslims and Jews, they reject. They think this is sinful. That is cultural. On the other hand, in Andes, in parts of even India, we eat pork, right? In Melanesia, in many other places. Hindus are like they just don't like eating beef. On the other hand, it is relished by most. Same with dog meat. Dog meat is consumed in China, Korea, Nigeria, Switzerland, Vietnam, and even in Northeast. In Northeast, it is very, very like revered one. They feel that that is very delicious. In our place, nobody is eating dog. That is the reason they are roaming here and there. If that were put in the case, see, chicken, mutton, kg kitna hai? A dog, 10 kg meat. So this is cultural there. And not eating dog meat is cultural here. But there may be some person who will be eating dog meat here also. Exception. Right? Culture is learnt, not hereditary. This is the second one. So what is the first and foremost? Culture is that which is shared. What is the second one? It is learnt. You have to learn as a part of society. It is that which is passed on from one generation to another. Say for example, this skin color. How did I get it? From my parents. Through genetics. Did I learn anything to get this color? So this is genetics. The way I treat people, that I have learned as a part of society, that is cultural. Are you able to differentiate the things? So there are some things which are passed on to from one generation to another through blood. Similarly, there are some things which are passed on from one generation to another through society. That is culture. Are you able to correct the things? The color, skin color, the height, weight, everything. we got from our parents. At the same time, we get some things from our parents. That is culture, passed on from one generation to another. Culture is not instinctive or biologically transmitted. Ants, they have all these things in their genes itself. You might have seen even some, like a small cough or any small younger one, they all have genetically built code. They act upon that instinct, that's it, but they are not learned. So ants, honeybees, they do the things in a very systematic way. They share the things, but they are not cultural. Why the things done by ant or honeybees are not cultural? They are not learned. Then how did they get? They get through the biological one. That is there in their genes. Did you get confused, or is the point clear to you? Okay. For anything to be called cultural, it has to be learned, not genetically passed on. Is the point clear to you? So మీకు జెనెటిక్స్ నుంచి జీన్స్ నుంచి ఏమేమి వస్తాయో అదన్నీ నాన్ కల్చరల్. వాట్ యు లర్న్ హ్యాస్ ఎ పార్ట్ ఆఫ్ సొసైటీ. ద డ్రెస్ ఐ am wearing, the way I comb, my attire, all these things are cultural because I have learned this as a part of society and it is shared commonly. Okay. For something to be considered cultural, it must be learned as well as shared. For anything to be called cultural, it should be learned as a part of society and it should be shared by most members of the society. Culture consists of all human behavior and all human made products. So it's not just about some products, ideas, music. It includes all behavior, idea, products, everything. Man-made products and also human behaviors, ideas, thoughts, everything. Culture refers to all features of the society's way of life, like food production, mode of dressing, living habit, food preferences, art, architecture, layout, field forms, system of education, belief, values. Mean to say, the term culture stands for sum total of all human behavioral, verbal, non-verbal and all human made products, material and non-material. But they should be sharing these things, right? It should be shared, it should be learned. Then the next point is culture is inculcated. What is inculcating? Putting something in your mind by repetition. So how did you learn to respect elders? How did you learn? Did it come from genetics? How? It was inculcated. How? पहले मारते हैं ना, बड़ों को respect नहीं दिया तो. Generally. So when you give disrespect, our parents will tell, and also they may beat. So they inculcate certain things. So culture is inculcated. Why you are eating in right hand? It is inculcated. Whenever you tried eating in left, you are punished. Whenever you are trying to do something which is not good, you might have been punished. So everything, sitting, sleeping, everything, they are all inculcated. So culture is inculcated. Inculcate is to fix a belief, idea or something in a mind by repetition. Inculcation of values. This is a very important topic in our ethics paper also. Inculcation of values by society, by teacher, by others, right? Humans alone have the capacity to transmit acquired habits with the aid of spoken symbolic language. Very, very important. One of the reasons why humans have culture is when a individual learns something we have got a sophisticated language. All animals have language, but we have got very sophisticated language, unimaginably sophisticated. Because of that, that is transmitted from one generation to another. A monkey may learn something, but it fails to transmit the same thing as it is to next generation. A dog may learn something, but it is unable to inculcate those things into the younger beings, offsprings. Why? The reason is it lacks the symbolic language through which the ideas are transmitted. If they had the sophisticated language, definitely they also would have had culture, because the things are transmitted from one generation to another. Things would have been made easier, they would have been learnt. So this is one of the reasons that why only humans have culture. Humans alone have the capacity to transmit acquired habits with the aid of spoken and symbolic language. Without language, we probably could not transmit or receive information so efficiently and rapidly and effectively. So since we have language, it is easy for us to transmit the culture. Then culture is adaptive. In fact, one of the reasons why we are at the apex of all the animals, in my opinion, all the animals are living at the mercy of humans. If man thinks of eliminating any animal, it can be just done in 1 or 2 weeks. If all the people in India, all the people in the world decide that we'll kill all the elephants, how long it may take? How long? It may not take too long. Why we have reached to that level? The reason is culture. There is only biological evolution in animals. Things are transmitted from one generation to another generation through only biology in animals. But with respect to human beings, it is biological and also cultural. We learn certain aspects. We pass on the same thing from one generation to another. It keeps on adding. Say for example, the dress pattern. Did I devise this? This is the evolution of the culture after 2000 years. Isn't it? Were my forefathers wearing the same dress? No, they were wearing different. So culture is adaptive. So through culture, you can adapt to the environment. You can use, you can increase your efficiency, effectiveness. Culture is one of the reasons why humans are able to dominate the earth. Because they are transmitting the information from one generation to another generation. Think, cockroach transmitting the information from one generation to another. Dog transmitting the information from one another to another. How would they have been? They would have been very sophisticated. But that is not happening. Right? Culture is adaptive. Culture is a design for living which enables people to survive and reproduce in a particular environment. So these are some of the most important things with respect to culture. So if you have got any doubt, please let me know. And please let me know where you got little confused. And as I made this point clear, this is the most difficult thing. You can ask anyone. Culture, thought, these are the things which are difficult in any subject. Other things are pretty easy. So if you have got any doubt, feel free to ask. Okay, if you don't have any doubt, let me wind up the session here. Have a great day, enjoy your preparation. If you enjoy the preparation, success is yours. Enjoy the process, success is inevitable.